The third award of the evening is the Lifetime Achievement Award, which is being presented to Pam Hall. Longtime president of Normandeau Associates, longtime friend of the EBC, longtime friend of the environment, and most importantly, my long-term friend. So it gives me great pleasure to acknowledge that Pam Hall is receiving this award. Pam joined the EBC board in 1995 and served for over 25 years as both on the board and as the treasurer. Probably the most exciting award for me tonight to be presenting. So here's Mary Ryan, longtime board member and clerk of the EBC, to introduce the award video. Mary?
Thank you, Dan. I'm honored to be the presenter for this richly deserved award. I've known Pam for many years, but working with her on the award video gave me a chance to learn so much more about her remarkable career. It began 50 years ago when she was one of the early environmental activists at the first Earth Day. Through hard work, her commitment to strong values, and her sheer talent, it culminated with her trailblazing leadership of Normandeau, one of our most highly regarded environmental companies. I urge you to look at the program for this event and at the EBC website to learn more about Pam's many accomplishments. But right now, let's watch some of the video interview.
I mean, I was just interested in science and looking at the stars and rocks and all the things that were unusual for a little girl growing up in the 40s and the 50s, really. And I stuck with that through college. I was an environmental activist, really, in the 60s when I was in college, and I was doing a lot of reading from many of the scientists, mainly ecologists and biologists, who also had become so activists in terms of being very concerned about the environment. Well, in '70, actually, Don Normandeau, the founder of this company, Normandeau Associates, had formed this company, and I came over and talked with Don Normandeau, and he hired me. Nothing like they weren't like real positions or stuff like that. He said, well, we are, we're a little busy right now. We do need some help, and you look like you're really qualified.
So you made that leap of faith, and now, 50 years later, you're still here at Normandeau.
Here I am, yeah.
That's a remarkable achievement nowadays to stay with one company for that long. Can you tell us how do you think that happened?
I could be a little biased here, but it was recognized as a pretty excellent company, a very excellent company for the sciences. And I sort of stayed with the same company, but the next layer around me kept changing because Don Normandeau sold us more than once while I worked here.
What had you been doing before then? Your personal trajectory through the company.
I got into the management end of things while I was still a marine biologist, and I took over management of the marine biology lab that we had in Portsmouth. So I started taking business courses up at the University of New Hampshire, at the Whittemore School. That was that's what really got me into more management.
Now, were you in management before Thermo Electron bought Normandeau?
Yes. After Don Normandeau had bought the company back, then I was made the vice president of the company, vice president of operations. And I sort of knew at that point in time that I probably would not be going back to my days of operating boats and doing samples. And
so, yet again, an example of how you've stayed with Normandeau, but Normandeau changed. The next chapter of Normandeau involved the employees buying the company back from Thermo. So in a way, maybe you did fulfill that entrepreneurial dream. Can you tell us a little bit about that chapter?
Yeah, sure. I had always thought that these professional services companies, where the people are the assets, that they should own a piece of the company.
What are some of the other key or core guiding principles that you've tried to guide the company by over your 30 years of leadership?
One of the key things is I've always tried to keep this a specialty science-based company, doing really good science and not trying to be all things to all people. Another one that we've always focused on is ethics and integrity.
You were in environmental science at a time when there weren't many women around. But now, what would your advice be to a woman who told you that they wanted to become an environmental scientist or go into the environmental consulting industry?
I think it's a wonderful profession to be in. If you have a passion for this type of work, and the need is certainly there, and it's urgent.
Normandeau has been one of the longest members of EBC. I think the company joined shortly after the EBC was formed. And you personally have been on the board for for 25 years before you stepped down last year. Many of those years were treasurer. What has the EBC meant to you? What do you think it's meant to the industry?
It's an excellent organization for anybody that's in the environmental business, and now it's environment and energy. It's great for networking. It's great for meeting friends. That's where you and I met 100,000 years ago.
Your thoughtfulness about your career path, how driven you are to keep learning, your spirit of giving back, your professional pride, your care about your community, your employees. And that's the reason why, on behalf of the EBC, I just can't tell you how pleased we are to be able to recognize your brilliant career with this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Well, thank you, Mary. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Mary. What a great job interviewing Pam. You must be a litigator. I'm sure you're a lawyer, that's for sure. So here is Pam live accepting her award.
I think she is a litigator. Well, thank you, Dan and Mary, for your very special remarks. All three of us have been friends for a long time, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate the remarks. And thank you so much for the Lifetime Achievement Award. It's certainly an honor, and it was such a surprise when you called me to tell me about it. When you first talked about it, it didn't really register, and then it was like, oh my goodness, I got the Lifetime Achievement Award from the EBC. What a great honor to have that. So, and I will forever be grateful to the EBC for considering me for the award and giving me the award. I have spent 50 years in the business. I plan on spending more time in the environmental arena and in the land conservation area. So it's not that I'm retiring from things like that. But again, thank you. And Mary, I really want to thank you for joining me with in the video. That video adventure was so much fun, and I got to know you better, and we're going to get together again, and maybe over a drink and talk further when we have some time. As far as the EBC, and being on the board for 25 years, that was wonderful. I got to see the EBC when it was a small startup organization, and it grew, and now it's a very, very successful organization. And so congratulations to the EBC too, and all the people that helped it be successful over the years. So a big thank you for the honor. And before I end here, I'd like to also thank all of the employees at Normandeau Associates, both the past and present employees, because I think it's really the dedicated, hardworking employees that we have that, along with the company leadership, have made the company very successful over so many years. And finally, I did get into this business early on. I was in graduate school in the 1960s, and I would like to thank all of the ecologists and biologists of the 1960s who really raised the red flag on the environmental issues, because they got me interested. I was originally thinking of going into research. They got me interested in more of the applied sciences and applied ecology, and inspired me then and continue to inspire me now. So thank you to the ecologists and biologists of the 1960s, and thank you EBC for the honor. It's been great, and this is the plaque. I'll hold it up a little bit here if I can figure out how to do it. So
that's good.
Where's the camera? Right here.
There you go. That's it.
Does it?
There we see it.
Then thank you. Bye-bye.
So great. Thank you, Pam. And just understand that you're not going anywhere. You're going to be staying with the EBC for many more years. We have another role for you on an advisory board. So your commitment to the EBC is very significant. As you know, your efforts in 1997 were significant. You working with Liz Levin and keeping the EBC as a viable organization. I remember that meeting. So thank you for your 20 years and your 20 years of friendship. I look forward to our next 20 years, and as soon as we get the opportunity, let's get back out on the Portsmouth, on the waters of the Portsmouth Harbor and get those kayaks out, okay?
Congratulations to Pam on an exceptional career.